was actually one of them. But he wasn't laughing now. Far from it. It had always been this way with Rory. He was impetuous, passionate, and a doer. He'd headed the student union at university, his strong, persuasive voice often forcing change where it was needed. He spearheaded rallies and was often seen plastering some flyer or other in public places. Rory knew how to attract interest. His good looks and charismatic personality made him forever popular with the ladies. Not that he craved that kind of attention. He simply wanted his voice to be heard. He wanted to make a difference. He laughed to himself. He was most definitely making a difference today. Who would have expected a well-groomed, well-spoken young barrister to speak up and defend what some would call a bunch of hooligans? And for free, as Rory wasn't charging the protesters. He was acting for them because he believed in what they stood for. To him, they were defenders of the earth. They did have a point, and a very good one at that. So it wasn't costing them a penny. But would this cost him? Would his wise, older counterparts be proved right? Had he, in fact, pushed the boundaries with too much vigour? "Typical Rory," said Adira, turning the laptop on the breakfast bar to show her fiancé. Jasper bent his head to see for himself. He took in the scene at Goldgate Square and chuckled. He was always one to support the underdog. She shook her head. "I hope this isn't his undoing, though," she added quietly. Adira had worked in Goldgate Chambers as a barrister alongside Rory. They'd hit it off immediately, both being the most down-to-earth of them all, and Rory had proved to be the biggest friend amongst a nest of vipers when she had had the guts to finally follow her dream and ditch the rat race. After several years of running the fast-paced legal treadmill, Adira had opted out and taken off in a camper van, making her, if not the most enviable, then the most puzzling of colleagues. She'd received mixed reactions from, "Good on you, wish I had the backbone," to, "Why?" To some, quitting a high-salary, prestigious career and bountiful future was absolutely insane. Wasn't she now reaping the benefits from those impressive qualifications she'd earned after years of hard work and long hours? They simply didn't get it. When Adira had tried to explain how she desired time, space and freedom, they'd just looked blankly at her. Yet for Adira, it had been the best decision of her life, and she didn't regret it. For on her travels, she'd found love. She'd found Jasper. Glancing at him, she thanked her lucky stars, or rather, her gran, for persuading her to buy the camper van. Jasper was the polar opposite to her, but that's why they worked. He was her rock, her anchor, together with his uncle in whose house, the Laurels, they all lived. The large Georgian country house sat on an estate in a beautiful, quintessential village, nestled in the forest of Bowland in Lancashire. When Adira had practically stumbled upon this quaint place, filled with quirky characters, she'd instantly fallen under its spell. Lilacwell had bewitched Adira, and she'd grown to love the place and its inhabitants. She'd grown to love Jasper, too. In turn, Jasper had been smitten by the pretty young woman with long blonde hair and beguiling smile who had parked her camper van on his uncle's land. And now, several months later, here she was, engaged to be married to him. "Do you think this could have repercussions?" asked Jasper, nodding his head at the laptop still showing the mass of activists outside Goldgate. Adira shrugged. "I hope not, but that Chambers did have some very unsavoury characters, and Rory was never one to keep his opinions to himself." She pictured Rory locking horns a few times with one or two of them, Richard, the office manager, in particular. Not to mention the head of Chambers, Nigel Kerfoot, who she had always considered to be a touch creepy. "Maybe he's better off without them, then," replied Jasper. He remembered first meeting Rory a few months ago when he'd